and it's then difficult for TNC to capitalize on the teamfight edge, because you need the kill to then secure you the opportunity to push for an objective. You don't want
Or leaking.
I like a hyper carry. I think that sounds good.
Oh. Whoa, guys, we're both right.
Woo!
Wait, don't high-five each other until the camera comes back, then we can get super hype. I don't even know if it will come back, but you called the Antimage. You think that Liquid, Miracle, Antimage...
Where you have Miracle, it's a 1-4. It's going to be 4 heroes running around, and Miracle at some point is going to be slotted enough to get a triple kill in some team fight, hopefully take the game. TNC, of course, want to prevent that.
Those Liquid, since this tournament's begun, they've, started transforming. I think this series there aren't really any surprises.
What lessons did you take from the first game as you entered your second draft?
Shadow.
That Fortune's End can be one of those things to always be able to dispel that Soul Catcher, and you can itemize for it as well. So we will probably see Gabby at some point in this game go for something like a Lotus Orb to make sure, something like that to make sure that he can always be sure to dispel that one off. But some other fun interactions, of course, too, with this Oracle versus Shadow Demon. There's some mixed between some teams, how Shadow Demon, if you Demonic Purge the target that does get False Promised, that target can't get healed by, you can't get healed by Urn, Healing Salve, your Fate's Edict constantly gets purged as it constantly keeps applying that Dispel, so we could see that come into play as well.
And what do you think about this last pick? The Antimage coming in, not necessarily a carry that sort of brings us a free win or a necessarily safe carry, but in the right circumstances, it could be pretty darn hard to deal with. Is this going to be a game where you can see Miracle popping off and getting that good Battle Fury timing?
I could, as long as they don't get run over. I think that's the one thing that TNC's draft can really start to take advantage is just steamrolling, getting towers pushed, Gabby just parking himself, running at lanes, with the Death Prophet pushing towers constantly. Even Bristleback hits towers pretty hard. Once you get your Warpath stacks, you really do start to chunk those down. So it can be a little bit difficult, but I could see it possible. Antimage somehow at TI always starts to come back, right? People are like, dead hero, Battle Fury's crap, not a good item, blah, blah, blah. Somehow this hero slowly trickles back every single one of these internationals.
And one of those heroes as well that we've seen trickle into this game, but not into a lot, is that Underlord. Mind control, getting the Underlord in this match. I feel this hero is a little underpicked. There's some aspects of this hero that seem incredibly strong, especially that aura, right? And that bit of bonus as well. This hero turns into a bit of a right clicker down the line.
He definitely does. And I mean, I remember we had one at the tournament. We had a mid Underlord, didn't we? And that just dominated the game, just took over. I think destroyed like a Templar Assassin in the matchup. So I'm also surprised not to see this hero picked a little bit more too, especially with like Monkey Kings and Ursas being very, very scarcely picked. But we're gonna get to see it. And now they have another thing too. They have maybe that percent damage amp onto the Bristleback as well that they do have from that Underlord. So could be fun to watch. Good to see if Liquid's able to actually rally around that one.
See how some of the lane matchups are going so far. That mid lane, Armo getting the slight lead off the first few waves. Bottom lane, Kuro's going to go for the self-disruption, but TNC, they've got the 3 heroes ready to finish him as he comes back out of his bubble. First blood for TNC off the back of this aggressive tri-lane.
And they're getting themselves a very good matchup up top, this Bristleback versus the Underlord. Underlord's just getting pushed completely back by Gabby for now.
Yeah, Mind Control just about a quill spray away from dying there.
Yep.
Got to be very, very careful as Gabby will head over, pick up the bottle from the side shop.
I like that actually a lot. Bristol, he's making sure to spam so much that you can pick up this bottle and it's just fine in this type of 1v1 matchup. You're able to out-sustain very nicely as Weehaw. They're committing forward here.
And they're going to look for the dive. They've got the hold from AU. Crypt Swarm burst and a right click. Is it enough? He's diving for this AU. He's going to find him. Can he get off the Fable? Reducing AU's right click. Doesn't matter. He gets the second one in and will still find the kill. GH will look to chase. See if he can get his way out of this. He's got a little bit of a heal going. Again, another brute holding back GH. He's certainly making him work for it.
Nice little play. GH does have boots and a lift, so it should inevitably be an easy kill here.
Let's pop it in the south. That is a south cancelled. It still continues to keep AU alive. Weehaw will come in though, and that will be a dead Oracle and also a dead healing cell. So a little bit of lost gold there for AU.
Weehaw gets the last hit though. That's the nice thing. But we see these lanes very dominant right now already from TNC, the way they have it set up. Antimage is still farming though, which is the most important thing for Liquid. But yeah, these other 3, Gabby just really taking advantage of this top matchup versus Mind Control.
That's Bristol.
Bristle.
Suddenly going to be able to start running down heroes very soon and even diving that top lane if Mind Control's not too careful.
Especially with AU up here right now, right? With a Fortune's End, a couple goos, Mind Control definitely could get chased out. He has to be careful of his positioning on this Underlord.
Bottom lane Liquid just trying to keep the mana low on Cuckoo so the harass cannot be there against Miracle.
Yeah, keep a tri-lane. I think this is what you tend to see when there's an Anti-Mage in the game. As you're saying, top lane.
Gonna have a bit of a shot here. He can TP. But yeah, no hesitation there from Mike Shaw. Instantly knows he has to get himself out of that situation.
So other thing we panel talked about a little bit, but the limited disable on TNC, right? That's why you can see why Liquid, not only just because there's a high intelligence hero like that Death Prophet on the side of TNC, but just look at the stuns coming out for TNC. It is going to be pretty limited unless they go for something like an Atos, which they probably will on either the support Mirana or somebody else. They also at least have silence as well for Armel, but their catch could be a little bit difficult in that mid game if they allow Miracle to actually get away with the game and get some farm going. But right now, it's looking really solid for them. This is exactly what TNC wants to do. Like Keen said in their in that interview too, they were a little bit too calm in that last game. I think this game, they're really going to turn up the heat.
Certainly these first 5 minutes is being cranked up. See if they can get themselves a hold of the 5-minute runes. See how they're going to get split up as both teams are going to try and prepare. TNC is looking a little more prepared, especially on top. They'll grab those two with the setup. See a swing round from the Rubik, looking towards bottom, but in fact, a little too slow for them. It's TNC, then we had to pick up the 3. Still that one on their own half of the map, which won't be looked towards by Liquid, so eventually they'll probably get all 4. Bottom lane, jump forward for Tims with the Starstorm. Kuro's got the stick charges that will save him. Miracle's hunting into the trees for Cuckoo. Cuckoo with the Jukes, trying to get himself out of there. Pots the stick charges, but they're suddenly going to end up giving more mana for Miracle to burn. And Miracle doesn't even need to get the last hit in there. GH and Kuro beat down on Cuckoo and get him out of the lane.
They're trying so hard to just secure Miracle's lane. He's even picked up like a Wraith Band early on so he can have better lane positioning for that Antimage too as top. We see these goos start to build up, but they don't want to dive into the tower under that Firestorm. Level 3 Firestorm now already. And my controls are covered. I mean, he was having a he still is having a tough matchup, but he's still 25-3. That's pretty decent for the Underlord in that matchup. And there's still a bounty rune bottom. I think Tim's actually walked by it. I don't think he bought his bottle from the secret shop too. And
He should have.
I mean,
yeah,
he had a full bottle, so maybe he didn't want to just.
Okay.
But it's just gonna be chilling there, so he'll be able to fill it back up when he gets back up.
I guess it's unlikely that Liquid's going to randomly go and scout that position. Mid lane is going to be where Liquid look towards. They need to tell We Are out. He's suffering heavily in this matchup. With the 3 of them in the neighborhood, they'll look for Armel. Armel's still alive, tries to turn with the Siphon, but they will have the burst damage to bring him down. Tim's not there, or AU quite in time to help out Armel. A very important kill. You look at that CS in the mid lane, it was 35-16 against 24 for 4. Armel having a sizable advantage, and that kill opening up for some very early pressure onto TNC's tier 1 mid.
There's no glyph. That's at that tower. They want to commit forward for it, but he is starting to drop low, and they will TP a couple more heroes forward.
They threaten to TP from Gabby
Yeah.
to hold off, but as you say, a lot of damage done very early on in mid.
Tims will get his bottle refilled by Armel TPing in, so he's going to be able to keep moving. Oh, they actually did not refill the bottle. Whoops. Armel did not have an inventory slot there for Tims. Tims might have to back away and try to find that bounty rune if he doesn't know it's there.
Because they're still there.
It's still there.
Tims,
check it out.
come up. There's money to be made. I'm sure he'll see it on the way back towards bottom.
Yep, and now another rotation bottom. Weehaw this time with the SD. Easy setup, an easy kill onto Cuckoo.
No trouble killing a Tide when Leshrak's in town.
SD Lesh. Reason we are seeing it across the majority of the games. Easy to set up kills constantly. Kuroki even putting extra points in the Soul Catcher.
A bounty rune.
Still there. He's gonna get it.
Come on, Tims.
Tims?
He's not. There we go. Finally. Oh, this is still it.
He shrined as well, too. He shrined and then he gets it.
Oh, Gabby. We'll get the kill on mind control. Always going to be one of those lanes where you have to watch out for that. This mind control Underlord very vulnerable to the armor reduction and chase of the Bristleback in lanes.
And just the sheer right-click damage, right? That's what we're talking about with the Warpath. You get that 15% faster and those 22 damage per stack. So plus 124 on Gabby when he was diving there.
And Miracle starting to get the basics into his inventory. Ring of Hell stun, so pressure will be kind of harder to put onto Miracle if it's just the Tide alone. Already we've seen Miracle do a good job of getting the CS. It's been slowed down a little bit by Cuckoo's presence. Tim's also hovering around in the area, but Miracle, he's hitting the levels.
Yeah.
And he's hitting a good enough timing with those early items.
It's not on Gabby's level, of course, because Gabby's had to, he's been like, stacking constantly. He had this super good matchup versus the Underlord, but still not too bad for Miracle. This is where TNC, though, this is still great positioning for them. Like we've said, they have to keep this map and keep this game very aggressive.
On the hunt here for Tims. Scan out for Liquid will confirm that Tims is still around as Tims.
Starts his TP.
And he's going to hide in the trees. Correct.
A little bit of a stare down.
He's not going to look for him. So Tims will be hiding. I guess they almost only saw his TP start. He's going to jump out.
He's got one more leap. They're still stalking him.
That's the setup. See if, no, Weehar's already left. So it's just the two of them playing around with Tims. They'll slowly kill him.
They're going to find him.
They know he's in there.
Oh.
I mean, surely they know he's in there.
They're
They saw him lead this way.
Oh, let's look in the mid lane. Well,
It's a lot of time wasted. Yeah, back to hitting the creeps, Miracle. Yeah, mid lane tower just finally get pushed down by Weeha. And Tims will live.
that's some
He will
space
live.
right there for sure.
Yeah.
And I can still position him for some arrows too, position himself, but his leap is now back online too. So he can actually start doing something and have an impact on the map as well.
Oh, he's looking for an
Try.
arrow, but that's a creep wave coming in.
He'll take it. 37 gold.
Hey, it's, you know, it's accidental steal of the CS from Cuckoo. It's like, oh, was that me? Sorry, Cuckoo.
Support Mirana's right. They're like, yeah, I didn't mean to.
I didn't mean to hit the
I didn't mean to, I swear.
I didn't mean to take that CS.
Oops, took another range creep.
No, just trying to hit the carry.
Kuroki setting up deep vision. This is the protection ward. This ward that Kuroki sets up here is the one where it's like they're gonna set up for smokes or moonlight shadows from behind the tier 2 to try to kill Miracle, and this is where we'll try to spot it out. And it's an unexpected ward this early on, so it's a nice one that he is able to put down that TNC is not gonna be aware of at all.
I'm not saying that again. That's all 4 bounty wins going TNC's way once more.
Yeah.
They're making a lot of money from these bounties. Keeping themselves with this 2k gold lead, TNC.
It really is up to Weeha to be the one to just like run around with his team to look to set up for those bounty wins, because Underlord and Antimage, these heroes, they're not online. They're going to take such a long time to be able to really do any kind of impact in that fashion. As Mind Control, he's got his like phase boots and stuff finished up, but it's going to be tough for him to really make moves around the map, as that's not really what an Underlord does. He kind of just parks himself in front of a lane until he has more points in that pit.
Yeah, Miracle having to be a little bit careful on that bottom lane as the ghost push comes in from Armel, Kuro.
They're pushing two lanes at the same time right now with this siege creep.
This is the speed and pace that he wanted to see.
Yep. Like
It's coming out from them this time, TNC.
Yeah, they're playing versus an anti-mage draft. All you want to do is just keep the fight, close the map, restrict the map, and keep the aggression going. But Weeha, he's also doing something sneaky. Look at that mid lane. He actually gets a full edict inside the tree line there, chunks the tower down 1,200 health. So they're getting a little bit of a trade, at least for themselves. But TNC pressuring 2 lanes like we were saying.
Won't quite find the tier 1 bottom, but they do get the tier 1 top. Gabby's farm continue to skyrocket ahead of any other core on the map right now.
And we see the item that's immediately queued up by him. Hood into first item Lotus Orb. He knows he needs to just address the Soul Catcher. Also very good for his teammates too. But mainly for himself as he switches first now. He will buy the medallion. I think the medallion also has its great merits. You can just look to pressure and close the map up and then go to Roche. Gives you that Roche always as well with the goo.
They'll finish that tower down bottom. And you know, as soon as Gabby took the tier 1 top, he moves himself to the bottom lane. He says, you know, we can start being really aggressive with this power that he's built up. He's level 11. He knows there's not really much that Liquid can do to touch him right now.
There's going to be a lot of dodging around the map from Liquid for quite a while in this game.
I'll try to set up on mid. Kuro. He's going to be able to find it. We are. Stun timing's hit with ease. Tims is found. GH wants to actually finish off that kill. Kuro up to the high ground. He's going to spot out Cuckoo. This is not a fight that Liquid want to try and take, especially with Gabby around. Symbolic Purge from Kuroki will come out to hold the Bristleback back. Make sure that Kuro has the space to escape.
This is the trio, like we said, Liquid. They're gonna run around as 3, look to make kills. The other 2, they're just gonna, look, Mind Control is pretty much just gonna be pushing out lanes for the majority of this one, and Miracle is just trying to try to soak the space to get this battle period at decent timing. So TNC, they gotta keep this pressure going. They have to keep looking to make these moves onto the side of Liquid. And they will. They do not want to slow down at all in this game.
The next target is almost certainly gonna be the middle. Getting ready to push round Gabby once more, level 12. Gabby continues to farm up those stacks. Those jungle camps to keep himself so far ahead. Same importance to be noted the way of Armel. Looking at that exorcism. He's got it ready to push with once more. Gabby is by his side.
Has anyone actually queued up the Atos? It looks like just Yules is going to be the choice here for both Tims as well as Armel. So no Atos to go for that like extra catch. Of course, it's pretty easy. Just click counterspell for an anti-mage, but going to be a little bit limited on their disables, but they still will have those silences if they can find the AM in the side.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's very true, yeah. Rod against AM is... I feel like it's good against bad AMs, right?
Yeah.
Against good AMs, the chance that projectile's hitting him without pressing E is pretty slim. Mm-hmm. Unless you're able to sort of get it through a tree line or get it from out of the AM's vision. Yules being that instant setup could certainly be what allows the DP to get on top of him with the silence.
Yeah, or just the arrow connecting in, or yeah.
A lot of ways to time it, and TNC's very, very strong with the execution, as we've seen many times. It's inside the jungle, Gabby starting to poke. Liquid's going to have a little bit of a look towards him. Moonlight Shadow will be used to try and get him out, but the sentry's down. They've got the vision. He's going to head over, provide some of the backup that's going to allow him to turn. In fact, with Kuka as well, Mind Control's in trouble. They're straight on top of the Underlord. Armel kept just alive in time by that false promise as he falls so low. But AU there, able to save kind of both of his cores, giving the backup required for Gabby to go in, as well as allowing Armel to pop off on the high ground. Excellent Oracle play.
35 HP. He was one hit from dying there.
He had both of them. He had his eyes everywhere. He was making sure that nobody gets ignored on his team.
Well, he's a platinum tier Oracle, right? He's got level like 20 Oracle.
He's saving everyone.
This guy plays his Oracle. And yeah, perfectly set up there to get that defense, and now they'll transition into another tower, and we're going to see map being constricted. That's the style that TNC wants to play in this game. Keep running at Liquid as we see. They do not have damage for that Bristleback.
Wow.
Even when they had him isolated for quite a few seconds with that Soul Catcher, he still was able to be just fine.
See what we are. See if he's got the damage to kill Tims in time. The jump out, we'll say no that he doesn't, and Tims tries to turn, does miss the arrow. Might not matter, and certainly doesn't if Kuka's willing to expend the Ravage like that. Pops it down straight away, and Weeha is taken down for his attempts. Hello, everybody. Hope you're enjoying the stream. We love you. Back to the game, please. Thank you. Thank you.
Great setup there. I think using Ravage in this type of game, with the slow pace that it is, just kill a core, right? Just Ravage a core. It's going to be worth it most of the time. Miracle is starting to get close to that Battle Fury, about 740 gold away from it. So they haven't been able to find him, at least. That's the good thing. Yep. The silver lining there for Liquid, but look at the rest. 6k gold advantage. All of TNC looking really, really comfortable with the game, how it's been going so far, and they're going to keep putting the pressure on. Even without Ravage, they will look to keep running at the side of Liquid as they... Exorcism's about to be up in about 30 seconds. Smoke's already being prepped.
Let's see what they can do. This is a excellent timing, really, across the board from TNC. I don't think they could have hoped for a better start to this.
Yep, it looks...
They're doing everything they needed to. They're making all the moves that are required. It's sort of on Liquid now to slow this all down. They find the catch inside of the jungle. Liquid looking towards Tims. They missed the combo, though, and Tims is able to jump away a couple of times. Moonlight Shadow's out. He's going to try and do his best to keep him safe, as he's out of vision, he's out of sight, and Tims is out of the way. AU will get left behind for his attempt there to save Tims, but Tims will be eternally grateful. Great play there, but he purging off the dust, making sure he could get out with that invis.
That was really interesting, too. He got the leap, like, mid-Underlord animation. He was actually rooted after the leap.
That can happen.
That was actually pretty cool.
A similar sort of mechanic, right, as the Sand King Burrow strike.
Yep.
Once you've got that movement going, you're still in the area, so you can still be caught out by stuns and such, but your body will be propelled to safety.
Yep. That keeps him alive, and they're going to keep looking to constrict that map. You see that Lotus Orb, that big item that Gabby wants in this game, is now picked up. So Soul Catcher, not going to be as much of an issue for himself, at least. And it looks like ultis are pretty much at the ready. You can see they're waiting for at least that Death Prophet ulti to come back online before they put too much pressure. And we see Liquid. If you look at the rewards in the map, that's how they want to play. They're just like, all right, we're not, like, don't, Chris, the river is not, don't cross the river. Miracle, you can blink past the river and maybe farm the jungle, but for the time being, crossing the river is a bit of a fearsome one. Weeha wants to poke here. He may be trying to get some damage here on this bottom tower. And it looks like they're just going to push the Rosh instead of looking for another tower. Tier 2s are too far.
I think even if Liquid know that it's going on,
they cannot fight this.
They're not going over here anytime soon.
No,
this is
pretty crazy of them to try to take this fight versus TNC.
This is a free Rosh, free ages for TNC without a doubt.
Weeha's taking good advantage of this, though. They've identified they're doing Rosh. He's trying to get as much structural damage as possible. They're going to glyph the wave, though, ensuring that he cannot actually push much further.
And they poke up for a little bit of action, see if they can find GH Gabby. Oh, he's going to be able to get the snot on him.
But the leaps
will allow GH to prance himself to safety.
That TNC not even... Okay, they don't have wards, that's why. I was like, they're not actually putting any deep vision down to watch where the Antimage is jungling right now. They've actually only placed river wards as well, but we see from this control that they've been able to have 6-6, but they've been very well at moving around the map. All right,
timing set up there, perfect for Tims, but the disruption comes out from Kuro. We are safe, and maybe even allow for a bit of a turnaround as AU. He's had a fantastic game so far, but getting caught massively out of position there on the front lines and between the members of Liquid. That's going to be a dead Oracle for 20 seconds.
And Mind Control, again, as we say, they try to take any types of opportunities where they can cross past that river and force the waves as far as possible from their base. So TNC has a harder time to make the move.
Arrow on arrow action here. GH is just going to be the one that connects.
And look how long it lasts. Armel is now unstunned.
That's a long, long time. That wasn't even the max stun, right?
It was not.
Gotta watch out for those Rubik Arrows buffed up by the old arcane supremacy.
Yeah, you know, just a nice 9-second arrow or something could come out.
Is that the maths?
No, it's less than that. But
Do the
it's
maths.
Okay.
It's less than that.
It's like 7.5.
36% of 5 on top of 5.
It's like, yeah, it's like 7.
7. Yeah, what's it? 7.
We'll round up.
Just to simplify it for the viewers, you know.
Miracle, he's spotted. They're actually hunting for him this time here. They have both heroes with the Yule Scepters possessed around him.
Oh, mid lane, what's going on? Oh, nope. So a bit of a cancel of TP there, I believe. Like Gabby. See if we can find this up top there. They try him, it's our Miracle, he's over to the camp. They do ping it, they know that he's gone for the greed.
They get the
He's
silence.
jumped up it. He's a little far away. Can they get on top of him? An arrow does fly through.
I think that was
actually GH's anyway, so was just being flown through defensively in case anyone was trying to get on top of Miracle. But hey, they achieved what they wanted. Push him away, push onto the tower. Same time though, Liquid, they're getting objectives themselves. So you've got to watch out. Be aware of this. Lesh is pushing powers. We are takes that tier 2 with the help of mind control. They're actually pushing up towards the base on the bottom lane. So for as fast as TNC's playing, they're actually getting a lot of pressure brought back their way by this Leshrac.
Yeah, pretty much like perfect moves we see by Liquid, at least in response to that. They see 3-4 heroes set up top. They're like, hey, we have opportunities to go for like the Ratto, to go for the split push that they need to do it so they can keep getting this farm in. Mind Control pretty much has Solar Crest finished up, so buffing up the AM. It's all about the Antimage that they're going to be looking to throw everything onto Miracle. And now Miracle, we mentioned some things could be problematic for him. You know, the silence in particular. He almost has the Manta done. Have to be concerned here for TNC. This AM is getting online.
With that Manta, Miracle, I mean, he only sort of dies if he makes mistakes. We have seen Miracle make some mistakes this TI, so, you know, don't write that off. It may still happen, but as you say, once he has the Manta, it should be a pretty free map for the AM to jump around and keep the farm up high. Obviously, there's still that danger of the push is coming in and the AM being forced to retaliate to the aggression of TNC. But for the most part, if the game stays at a state where WeHa is able to push out these lanes and shove them out as far as he can to make sure that TNC cannot get this 5-man push together down a lane, space is going to be there for AM to jump around the map very safely.
Exactly. I mean, that's literally what they've been doing for the last, like, pretty much the whole game, right? Just mind control in one lane, WeHa in the other one, push it out as far as possible so TNC cannot group up and go for their game-ending play, which we could see them start to set up for here. BKB is finished for Armel. They do want to start really pressing that advantage, try to get these tier 2s, because Liquid, they're getting away with a lot here in this game.
It should be, with the numbers that they have, a very quick kill onto Mind Control. They'll even blow the Ravage for this one. Mind Control found. Arrows out to Kuro in the jungle as they'll get both of the pickoffs. Instant TP's up top and the jump forward. Tims, he's got the setup for another. Yule's up onto WeHa, turn with the Yule's onto the Tide, but AU's ready to chase, so's Tims. They'll try and purge up Tims to try and get that root. He won't be able to quite get on top of WeHa. Arrow's actually going to miss WeHa with a cheeky sidestep, but TNC, they've got the numbers. 4 of them are up. Another Yule's throws him up. WeHa is surrounded, and they will deal with the push. That threat, that pressure we talked about, both the Underlord and the Leshrac, they're now out of the game.
Yep, and now they're just looking to push down the lanes as much. But Gabby was also chasing Miracle around, actually gooing him, and just keep chasing him when he was trying to cut the creep waves. So this is that timing. TNC, they have to make a lot happen. They cannot allow Antimage to keep up this split push.
Antimage Miracle, he is getting close, I'd say, to sort of being able to have a bit of a look into the fights, right? Especially once he has the Scardy, at least a component of it. He's going to have good stats to fight with at this stage. Aegis will now expire, but they'll keep the push going, and a tier 2 tower in the mid will fall. TNC take another objective and hold on to that 4K lead.
Miracle is farming under vision here. And they actually try to get the setup. Tim's really trying to get some Yules into arrow setup, but unable to. Miracle, he's gonna pass that #1 net worth pretty soon.
He is, and he's, you know, at this point where there's one tier 2 left to be taken, there's no longer sort of that free money on the map for the push lineup like TNC. The high ground push, that's going to be sort of the next level of difficulty for them. So no longer can they rely on those objectives to keep themselves sort of an item ahead across the cores. The map's going to be open. AM's going to get that farm. Bottom lane, setups there, they'll catch out Tims. Miracle gets himself involved. In fact, he's the one to get the last touch. Level 18 on Miracle, and he has the money for the first ulti orb into that Scardy.
Pretty traditional smoke that we see there, right? The smoke from your base to your carry. We see teams do that so often, just trying to set up in case maybe Miracle's going to get ganked or something like that. They make sure to sweep the area, and now they can even keep continuing to transition this into a push. WeHa, threatening always, and TNC has to respond.
Do have all the ingredients for a good defense. Cuckoo's Ravage back up in less than 10.
Gabby's just running through into all 5 heroes. He has no fear right now.
And they're having to get away from him as well. Liquid don't want to try and deal with this Bristleback just yet. At least when Liquid are being unnecessarily offensive. They know that they don't need to try and force it. They've just got to try and make sure the TNC are the ones on the defensive.
They just got to dance around him, right? Pretty much in the fights as well. They're just going to have to dance around the Bristleback for a while because they don't have great solutions if he's not completely isolated. If he's completely isolated, sure, they can look for something, but...
Chase and setups here. Well, for Tims, timing's going to be off from Weeha, and that's going to allow the chance for Tims to get out with the Moonlight. He'll sneak off in the shadows, and Liquid won't find the kill.
Gabby, look at him. He's really trying to get aggressive. They want to catch something here. He has a DD. They get the silence. This is so much physical damage that's coming in.
You know, Underlord just gets absolutely shredded.
400 damage right now with this DD rune. The waves, though. Look at Liquid. There's no creeps here, TNC.
Bottom lane, top lane, and as you say, the mid lane. Even with no heroes in at the moment, Liquid had already had the momentum covered before that Underlord was chased down. TNC, the pushing is getting a lot harder for them as Liquid are more than able to make sure the creeps are never in position for TNC to take their tempo to the next pace.
Weeha, they want to go for blood here. As they know, they're just Liquid's getting too much time to farm on the map. They really want to catch Weeha, but that's a boots of travel with a 15 movement speed talent, 30 movement speed talent as well. No way you're catching this Slash. Super speedy. And just continue to push in the side lanes. Now GH can do his own split push too with the Starstorm. See him just clearing out those waves instantly. Definitely feeling concerned for TNC. This Antimage.
Timing is falling down and sort of out of their control for TNC.
They're going to have to do a big miraculous push here with the Aegis and the Cheese and just make sure that AM can't actually fight directly into all 5 heroes, but they have to make sure that they can keep their side lanes pushed in. They're unable to reduce... Oh! Yarrow!
Good little snipe of GH in the trees for Tims. Tims will let's close the gap, but GH is able to get out with the blink down. No instance of damage on him in time to stop him from making that getaway.
Yeah, Tim's got a little spooked when he saw the AM illusion, thinking it could be real.
27 minutes in, 8 to 10. Definitely sort of the kills that, as that Antimage, you're looking at the top and being very happy with the state of the game.
You look at Antimage, 330 last, it's 1-0 and 2.
Yep.
He is getting uncontested farm. He's just blinking around the map freely, and they're not able to get the ward coverage to actually watch him. We've been seeing TNC, they've been getting de-warded quite a lot from Kuroki. He actually got 2 of the recent Observer wards, and he's just been moving around the map all over the place, getting them. Just keeping it Miracle safe to farm up the map and then just keep split pushing the side. So they have great reads on the map from how TNC wants to play. You know, TNC, it's pretty telltale how they want to be moving. Grouping up, going for the push all the time. So just keep split pushing. But that Roche, like we said, the next thing big on the menu for TNC. And still contesting fights, 5v5 fights from Liquid is still going to be quite difficult. When Exorcism is already popped and they have the front line as the BKBs are there to protect versus the mana burn for Armel, as well as, I believe, Gabby also bought a BKB. So I think maybe this is double BKB timing, get Aegis Cheese, end the game for TNC. I think they really want to force the issue here and try to end it before Miracle's able to do any more of these shenanigans.
Let's talk about this a bit. Well, Tims, he's just picked up a Blink Dagger on the Mirana, so he is just going all in on getting the Blink Yule setup.
Catch, yeah. He needs to try to be the one to catch. That is what it seems. They have to try to catch the split push somehow, and Tim seems to be thinking this is the best solution before he can get something like a Hex, which is he just queues up immediately right afterwards. So they need other ways to catch this Antimage's mind control. Will get easily brought down here.
Back to being able to grab some of those objectives. Roshan, Cheese on Armel, Aegis on Gabby, and a dead Underlord. Top lane Miracle.
That actually hits the real one.
I've got the setup with that stun. TP's coming in, but Miracle's already out into the trees and will make the retreat. TNC. It's all about these next few minutes of gameplay. They've got to do something with this Aegis and Cheese. Top lane, Weeha is trying to fight for this. He is on his own. He does want to look for this sort of solo pickup potential, but backup's in town for Tims. A is around, and Weeha now has to just get out of there.
He's just way too speedy. Even with that Blink Dagger, they can't catch up to him. And also, he has BKB the whole time. BKB and TP out would be probably just easy enough for him to get away.
Can they get this push together?
Both really not letting them every time.
Yeah, they're just constantly the side lanes are always pushed onto TNC's half of the map. So they can do this. They can go all in on the middle. But if it's not a massively successful siege attempt, if they don't get sort of the racks, the mid lanes are going to start knocking at their own tier 3s.
They have a creep wave in the mid lane. This is what we were saying. This might just be the GG push that they're trying to do here. Exorcism pop. They got the Aghanims, the Cheese, the Aegis. They have to get something taken down here for them.
Let's see what they can get. One of the pluses, we did see Tims was able to cancel the TP of Weeha, so Weeha can't get back.
Weeha cannot get back.
He can.
20 seconds.
20 seconds. 20 seconds on the bots.
They're full split pushing.
And they're fighting through the backdoor protection. They're nearly actually getting that tier 3 tower. They won't quite. The rest of Liquid will be able to push them
Liquid's
back.
getting two. They're getting 2 towers here.
Yeah, this is the problem.
Oh my god.
This is the problem, TNC. They weren't able to really get this push together early on, and now it's very vulnerable to these sort of rat plays occurring. Weeha is out with the BKB TP. And the game now in a bit of a worrying state for TNC as the question has, it has to be asked. Have TNC missed their timing?
It could feel like that at this point. They still have lots of damage that they can deal and go down, but Miracle, how the hell are they gonna kill this Antimage? Now with full BKB finished as well. Uh-oh, TNC.
It says it's 50-50 on the win probability. I mean, I guess, Gaben still really sees that chance of TNC being able to run down mid and just, I guess, taking that tier 3, maybe even just going straight tier 4s and Ancients before Liquid's able to react or take the side lanes, but you look at this Antimage and you say, well, Miracle, he can go for the rat plays, but he can also turn up to the fight.
Yeah, he can start turning up to the fights for sure. It really does. It does feel like Liquid have the better control in the game so far here now. Even though TNC, they have Aegis and Cheese, they have to make something big happen. They're gonna smoke. They're gonna try to keep forcing this issue. Right now, they're gonna be parking Gabby actually bottom, so they can have two lanes at least pushing in, so they don't have to worry about some split push where they lose their mid lane creep wave. They'll at least have a bottom wave too. But immediately, Liquid, they're not gonna allow that. They're gonna start trying to fight.
Straight in on mid onto Tims. The Tims is gone. We'll look towards Armel. Soul Catcher brings him low. Pot the BKB. The Miracle's on top of them. He'll pop the cheese. He's back up to full. He's trying to keep himself alive with the Spirit Siphons. Miracle's just staying on top of the target. Is the end save for Armel? He's going to try and turn with the silent self-fuels, and he'll get himself up in the air. Healing up the stun tap from We Are. BKB's out. False Promise will keep Armel alive for a little bit, but the Mana Void's going to do serious amounts of damage. Miracle staying on them. Ravage comes out for Cuckoo. TNC looking for the turnaround, but they've lost Armel. They'll get Weeha. Can they get Miracle? He's too tanky and will be easily able to blink back out of the fight. Gabby, he's out of mana, but he's still punching into Kuro in mind control. He says, boys, it's time to go home. Kuro's not coming home tonight, though. Will be mind control on his own, rifting away. Miracle straight back into the mid, keeping that pressure on. So the fact that Liquid have lost 2, in fact, he's nearly turning and bringing down Tims and Gabby with him, will finally fall. So they get the 3 kills, TNC. But as you see, they get the kills. The Tims had to buy back. The gold lead is still growing for Liquid. And again, look at those creep waves. Despite the fact that TNC have killed 3, without their Death Prophet alive, it's very unlikely they're going to be able to do anything with this time.
Yeah, as soon as they're chasing GH, and Miracle's already blinking away, going for the creep waves. He knows the priority in this game. Just don't ever let them hit your base. And they're not really letting TNC get to that. And we saw the Iascati coming into play there. We see why Miracle picked it up versus these BKBs that TNC were getting. He can just keep the chase on.
Oh, he can. And we saw he was just blinking into the high ground. Next to Ty gets ravaged. At this point, it doesn't really matter. The AM, he's out of control.
Yeah, he is absolutely out of control, and they do not have that straight physical damage to do. Sure, like, Bristleback can deal that hard physical damage, but he's not something like you're, like, some super physical hero that just, like, really will just stick on him and kill him, like you see, like, the Lifesteers, the Basher, or Slark, or something like that. Someone who can really just bring it to him. Yeah, Liquid now with a very good control of this game, and they're just keeping the lanes always pushed in.
So hard for TNC to make a play. Their lineup really was all drafted around those early pushes. They did a good job of taking over control of the map early on, but they couldn't quite shut down the Anti-Mage's farm, and now they have some huge problems to deal with.
Miracle he's just like, I'm just gonna keep farming. That's all he really needs to do in this game. Keep farming. 2-0-3, almost 500 last hits at this 34-minute mark. And all they want is this game to go late for Liquid.
Every minute on that clock becomes more and more painful for TNC.
Now we start seeing that tick start happening. Of course, in the Dota Plus, it's really starting to feel that Anti-Mage's pressure. It's up to a 62% from that 50-50. Once that Aegis and once Armel does die, the Aegis gets reclaimed. And did they actually end up using the cheese as well?
They did. Armel.
Yeah, he ended up using it as well on top. So they've used pretty much everything. And Liquid, they just keep this push, keep the split push. We are now taking out shrines, it looks like. TNC just running around trying to catch pretty much anything. It's a game of cat and mouse. Liquid really is just controlling the map way better here.
I'm not being caught out either. Into the trees, instant TPs down to the wave down bottom.
Miracle just, keeps blinking around just freely. Even when right now, they're starting to have an idea of where he is. But he's jumping in. Hey, you quickly has to glimmer himself.
Miracle's just hitting the shrine alone.
Right in the middle of them.
What can they do? What can they do about this Antimage?
He's got BKB.
He forces AU.
Oh, he gets arrow though after the use.
Do they have the damage? There's a disruption that's going to be able to
Kuroki?
buy him time. Kuro giving Miracle more than enough chance to pop that BKB and get out of there. Kuro will die for trying to save Miracle and, of course, succeeding.
That was, I mean, Kuroki's positioning there was phenomenal. They even saw him, and he's still able to get that perfect disruption. Whew, Miracle definitely looking like he would have gotten brought down there from all that damage.
And it's also, you know, Armel did pop the Ghost in the hope that they would have the control to lock Miracle down. So Ghosts
And
aren't going to be there for TNC to even think about making a play around.
And Ravage. They used both of their big long cooldown ultimates and weren't able to find this. Now Weehaw is immediately when TNC starts splitting up, he finds an opportunity for a kill. He doesn't have a TP available. He has BKB, so he will be able to just run away.
They just can't get a hold of any of these heroes, TNC.
No, they cannot. And now
Only
we
the
see
supports getting picked off, and in situations where they do not mind dying at all. Level 25 on Antimage. It's got that extra counter spell, magic resistance. So I don't know how TNC. This looks like an impossible game for TNC right now.
It really is. It's been feeling like that for quite a while
against
now.
them.
Liquid just addressing the split push. They're just constantly pushing those side lanes out the whole game. It really did feel like it was 36 or like 29 minutes where TNC had some like control running around the map, but Liquid just constantly pushing the sides. And you can tell they're probably feeling the same way. They're probably like, this Antimage is just out of control. The Lumen Gloom. We always, I know a lot of pros, a lot of players have always said it when you're playing versus like these Anti-Mages and Medusas and stuff, when they're just like off the map the majority of the game, the back of your mind, you're just thinking about it constantly. You're like, uh-oh. That ticking time bomb.
AM farm rising. Cuckoo, he's got eyes on him. Miracle, he'll turn. Cuckoo has to pop the BKB and head back. Liquid, they've got the full team here ready to fight. This time they're not messing around, they're ready to start some action off. Gabby will start to look for the lead in, gets himself on top of Kuro. Kuro should be the first to fall. G8 with the stolen Ravage. As Miracle locks down onto Armel, they will lose Kuroki, but Miracle's going to start to pick apart the backline as jumps forward up to the high ground for the chase. Mind Control and Weehaw burning down Cuckoo. Gabby trying to commit for a kill with his BKBs onto Mind Control.
Oh, the
stolen false promise. GH making sure that Mind Control can get himself out alive. Miracle and Weehaw turn to get themselves on top of Gabby, beginning to burn down the mana. Miracle's over to look towards Tim's. Self-heals by sometimes for Tim's. He's back down. Armel has got the ghost, but there's already Tim's dead. AU as well. It's a buyback from Cuckoo. Can they get any kills out of this? They have found Weehaw. Weehaw will fall. So TNC are able to find a pretty big kill, taking the Leshrac out, but still
such a costly one. A buyback from Cuckoo.
Yep. And Miracle's reign continues in this game where they cannot do anything about the Anti-Mage.
GH having a little bit of a showcase right there, having that Stone Ravage from earlier, then also blinking and stealing the false promise. Some clutch little plays there from him, but Miracle just continuing to keep this split push and keep himself in such a great spot. Looking to pressure Gabby a little bit here. Can't kill him, but get rid of that mana.
I mean,
how does TNC do it?
Is there any sort of item you can look at TNC's lineup and say, well, this combination might at least give them a chance of killing this AM? Because obviously once they do, it's going to be a lot of money. And hey, we've all seen those games where it looks seemingly impossible to lose. This AM free farm hasn't died. Dies once, dies again, no buyback, and the game's over. Maybe that can happen. And that's obviously the situation that TNC are trying to force onto Liquid.
Looking like a pretty hard one, though, as Cuckoo, he does have a BKB to prevent that mana burn. Fully defensive BKB, though. And back to the Roche pit, we see Miracle go inside. They know there's no ghosts to fight for TNC. Their damage is not there at all if they try to take it to Liquid right now. Gabby will start poking himself toward the front line, but Gabby's also kind of low on mana. Only 300 on him.
Well, that's the thing. It loses a cent over and the mana's gone.
He's completely out of mana. Miracle's just in. Onto Cuckoo, also burns all of his mana, so 2 heroes on TNC have no spells.
They can't offer anything to the fight. Mana is burned. They're held outside. Demonic Purge being as well used to keep him outside of the pit. Stolen arrow will fly through, won't make the connection. Miracle's able to pick up the Aegis. Believe Weeha's able to grab the cheese. They'll get Roshan Liquid, and now they'll look to try and find some of these kills.
Armel can't run. The Eye of Scotty is too much onto him. The arrow connects onto Miracle. They're trying to disengage on TNC, but they can't run.
Miracle, he's just running into the 5 of them. An arrow does come out. Gabby pops his BKB again. The mana gone. Gabby has nothing to fight with. They'll continue the chase. Miracle's in onto AU. A false promise having to be used upon himself to get him out of there. They're very tanky, TNC. They don't die easily, but they are also unable to do anything easily at all. These heroes now pretty rendered useless as Miracle's in. He sees a chance to blow up AU with a mana void, and her arrow does come out again. Stolen arrow onto Tim's with that extra arcane supremacy debuff increased. He has no chance at all. Gabby's in, and as soon as he's in, the mana is out. Miracle just diving past tier 3 onto the support, running down AU, jump forward again. It's a triple kill for Miracle. He's just slowly dismantling TNC and slowly doing his best to take them out of the tournament. There KB popped. He's not going anywhere.
Still no fear. There we go. Now he's gonna give him some respect. Back up. But
he knows. I mean, 12k, 13k lead. There is no answer at all, as it seems, for this Antimage. They'll set up an arrow.
They got this one here connected. He has
Manta and also has the blink. They won't even be able to touch that Aegis or get near to touching it.
I just have no damage for him at all anymore. He's got the freest game in the world, it seems like now, on this Antimage, which was the last pick by Liquid, seeming to play around it absolutely perfectly. Just keeping the game split push, 40-minute mark, AM with top net worth by a long shot.
TNC, what are they able to get themselves close to? We are closing in on a Hex from Armel. No, the Bloodborne's going to be the item that Gabby is trying to get done for the team. So looking for some of that single target lockdown, which may give them some sort of a shot of tackling Miracle.
They needed these quite a while ago, right? The Hex or the Abyssal Blade, some type of instant type of disable to look for Miracle to catch him when he was doing this, but I mean, he's just at way too much critical mass here. This Antimage.
Seemingly the perfect pick. Really, and you could definitely see and understand what TNC went for. We heard it from Heen. They wanted to play this pace. And this is what's sort of the risk of running this sort of lineup here on the main stage. If you are unable to get the job done by a certain point, things just grind to a complete stop for your lineup.
Yeah, and you really are starting to understand why they went for the Underlord as well, right? Just to constantly split push the side lanes out. That's what we've seen that hero used for quite a while. Defend towers and then just park yourself, just push out lanes constantly and just get it onto the other side of the map. And that's really been the name of the game for Liquid. Push lanes. I know Will is probably in the back like, shove lanes, yes! Like, it really is just the definition of this one entirely for Liquid, just keeping it past the river after that early game. Now they've got a Hex picked up, the blink and the Hex on Armel. See if it can catch Liquid off guard. But they are all grouped together.
I mean, that AM kill will be worth a hefty penny.
As long as they can bring him down. He's 28 armor and, like you said, 70% magic resistance. So can they actually have the damage? With Ghosts, with everything committed, if they can get the chain lockdown, that could be one of the options. But besides without...
They've got to do it twice.
Yeah, without like Death Prophet Ghost, it seems pretty unlikely. It's Miracle taking 0 damage from that Purifying Flames. And they're just going to get the push going.
He's just hitting the racks.
Yep. Ghosts are popped. The Hex, it gets Lotus Orb.
It does. He's going to self-pig himself, arm out.
And GH even stealing Exorcism as well in the backline. He did.
Oh, he did.
Miracle, gonna get stunned up a little bit, but he's just keeping himself shown there for a second, then backs up. But that's what we see. The Ghosts, they have the damage, but can they actually get the catch? It's Miracle keeps blinking away. GH has his Ghosts ready to use. He also has a Refresher Shard on roofing.
Oh, okay. Double Exorcism.
If only they stacked.
Indeed, but just having the duration to be able to push with Miracle again. More than enough time to blink out and away from them. Armel starting to fall low.
Just to the illusions.
He'll get himself a little bit of heal. Well, a lot of bit of heal from those Ghosts returning in. False Promise being used by AU to try and get him out back to safety. Weeha, he's just running straight into the midst of them all with a BKB popped up towards the base.
Stun AU.
Forcing the 5 of them back towards their tier 4. They'll turn, they'll look for Weeha.
GH has the Ravage.
Weeha does fall. They're able to kill the Lesh. Antimage on the high ground on top of Armel. Hadn't quite finished into both this BKB finished. GH with the Refresher Shard force. He's up to the high ground and has that Ravage ready to play with. Armel is dead without buyback. AU's dead as well. GH is in. Stolen Ravage out onto the 3 of them. They'll lift up the Bristleback, slam him back down. Gabby's out of the game. Miracle's moving in. There'll be a buyback from Gabby. Miracle held back by the Eels, but Weeha just runs down Tim's. Tim's dead for nearly 2 minutes. Liquid cleaning up another set of racks.
There is no hold and seemingly no chance for TNC to turn this one round right now. Gabby, the final hurrah as he'll step forward. Manners burnt out. Miracle finishes him off. Godlike on the Antimage.
GG.
And there we have it. They'll tap themselves out of this. GG is called. TNC are out of the competition. And Liquid, with this Game 2 victory, will move on 2-0.
What a series from Liquid, bringing it back, making it look like, the group stages we saw from them, they had some tough times, but these two games, it looked like they were pretty much back in form. The last game was some perfect timing with the double BKBs. They make this incredible stuff happen. This time, the split pushing, the shoving of the lanes, just never allowing TNC to do what their draft wanted to do and get that big push going.
You said it sort of the start. TI comes around, Antimage returns. You have to watch out for these games on the main stage. If someone like Kuro sees a dream situation to pick that 10th pick AM, you know that you're in for a very tough game. And TNC, obviously not to be sort of too downhearted from this positioning. They've shown us some fantastic Dota in the run so far, but today just not enough to overcome the power that Liquid were able to bring out today. And a victory for Liquid as they'll move on in the lower bracket, and goodbyes for TNC. Liquid to take the series 2-0.